Oh, I'm sorry. Why am I so excited, you guys? Well, on this absolutely beautiful, fine Friday, March 6th, 2026. Well, not only do we have exciting football news, specifically about the deterioration and absolute implosion of the Chicago Bears under the leadership of Small PV Benedict Arnold Osama Ben Johnson, the traitor in the Windy City. All indications are things are, just like we called it, Skinny Patricia. But also, guys, Tony Gonzalez dropped out of the race. Brandon Herrera will not have to go to a runoff election. Brandon Herrera wins the primary vote for the Texas 23rd House of Representatives. Let's go, you guys, amidst a wild scandal. Tony Gonzalez dropping out, and our YouTuber, former law enforcement donut operator, you guys. Let's go to a absolutist. Brandon Herrera, by all accounts, should be steamrolling his way directly to the House of Representatives. Let's go, Texas. Texas, 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 Texas. Y'all fired Jasmine Crockett. Y'all fired Dan Crenshaw. You're about to send Brandon Herrera to the House of Representatives. Let's go, Texas, you guys. What a great Friday morning, you guys. And then on top of that, we will be discussing news about the NFL, because that's what you guys are actually here for. The Texans are re-signing Danielle Hunter to a 1-year, $40 million deal. Now the Texans going, hey, guess what? The salary cap is only as real as we want to make it out to be. We'll talk about that. And then Chicago, or soon to be the Indiana Bears, traded DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo, doing the smart thing. Chicago, yeah. Once the beer goggles come off, everybody's starting to realize that you're a fat, ugly bitch. Chicago also releasing Tremaine Edmonds. We will talk about that. That's a lot of... Look. Does this not just kind of give the vibe of Skinny Patricia? And as a Lions fan, I, as well as the majority of you, will probably go ahead and take a big ol' swim about in the Sea of Schadenfreude. Because we like to watch the Chicago Bears fall apart at the seams. And then we will talk briefly about the Detroit Lions. Look, guys, it's the Friday before the kickoff of the league season next year. On Wednesday, the league year will kick off. On Monday, what's called the legal tampering period will begin for the NFL. So teams can start to negotiate with free agents, right? So we will just run through. Y'all, we have beaten these positions to death, but we will skim through 5 positions of needs for the Lions so that we can kind of go ahead and look to see, what we might be doing in free agency, in the draft. I think we already kind of know what's going on. And then if we can rifle through those things, guys, I love Flemlo raps. This guy, he gets it. Flem is my dude. And he's got a video here. If we have time, it's a little bit longer. It's a half-hour long video, but we'll go through it if we got time. Nobody wants to talk about the real problem with college football. My dude has just a beautiful video here. I watched it last night, and I wanted to watch it with all of you guys. So we're going to try and rifle through all of the headlines, taking your chats and Rumble rants. What's going on, Cindy84 over on Rumble? That's right, you guys. We are live over on Rumble now as well. Hitting the dual stream. I think we are on Kick too, but I still can't figure out Kick. People over on Kick, just stick with me, man. We're doing the best we can. We'll try and hammer that out this weekend if we got time. But Rumble is up, rocking and rolling, and we are rumbling over there. The rest of Mad Hatter Nation is hanging out over in the live chat over on YouTube. Guys, if you want to be a part of Mad Hatter Nation over on YouTube and you want to partake in the chat, there is a very small barrier to entry. It is going to cost you a little bit of skin in the game. That's right. You do have to subscribe to the channel if you want to dance in the chat with the rest of Mad Hatter Nation. They are a bastion of sanity in a sea of nonsense. We are the most incredibly based and just hard hitting. Like I call it like a season, guys. There's no punches being pulled here at the Hat and Beard Show. We are a bastion of sanity in a sea of nonsense, right? And I do think that small investment there that you throw in with the to play around in Mad Hatter Nation, I think you do get a pretty solid return on your investment over there. But if that's not your thing, feel free to go over to Rumble, guys. I do like what Rumble's got going on for us. Brandy, that's right. Okay, that's you hanging out. I wondered, Brandy, I wondered if that was you over there on Rumble. That's super duper. What's up, guys? So check out Rumble if you want over there. I swear you were at like 870 subs this week. Nope, dude, not quite. I was at 847 for quite a while. We just yesterday, shout out the 2 new people who we picked up on YouTube yesterday. We eclipsed the 850 mark yesterday, so that's super duper awesome. The number one way that you can help us grow here, obviously, is subscribing to the channel, having that notification bell turned on so you can be notified every single time we go live Monday through Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here at youtube.com, rumble.com, and kick.com /The Hat and Beard Show. We are the one and only. Got a lot of got a lot of haters and a lot of homies, some friends and some phonies. Go ahead and like this video and share it around with everybody you've ever met before. Do the little thing, copy the link down on your clipboard as we go through the segments. It's a little game that Mad Hatter Nation likes to play as we push back against the clanker overlords here. We are a one-man operation taking the fight to the algorithmic overlords and the evil empires that are the big channel and content creation stations. But hey, I can do it because of your help, guys. We are here in the offseason absolutely grinding through it, guys. But we're grinding through it together. Now that all of the things are out of the way, I'm going to kick it over to my guy Jocko, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Every single time I think about Tony Gonzalez and the fighter jet that he is, dude, and the fact that he dropped out. Yo, come on, guys. Can you just smash like for Brandon Herrera? Now, I mean, just like not only is he like the guy that you want going and being in politics, right? But like the fact that we live in a world now where a guy was able to build a brand and, by all accounts, an empire off of YouTube, and now has leveraged his digital footprint to become a politician. Did y'all ever read Ender's Game? You remember what Ender's brother and sister were up to during the whole thing, dude? Y'all, they were effectively social media influencers who were running global politics. Yeah, we sit here, we're like, oh, well, we're in a brave new world. We're in 1984. We're in this dystopian. Dude, we are in a giant compost pile of all of them, and little flashes pop up, right? Every time I see a social media person, a new media individual flex the power of the internet to actually influence culture, politics, and the global trough, right? I just think of Ender's Game, and I know one of them used the name Locke for John Locke, and I can't remember what the other one used, but they were effectively opposing political ideologies, influencing people through the internet, if I remember correctly. I haven't read that book since I was in like 8th grade, I want to say, ish, somewhere around there. It was like 1 billion pounds of fucking good, green ago. It was a long time. It was a long time is all I'm saying there. So, but anyway, over here we do have, the gun dude. Yes, gun guy, perfect. That's exactly the take I was hoping to get out of you. There is another morning show I like, but the host gets super libtarded on X. Makes it hard to take him seriously now. Well, hey, Brent, you know what, dude? I guess I would be the inverse to that. I do try to not get too, too politics over here, But if you guys really want my honest opinion, look, I refer to Trump as the boss because he's the boss, man. The boss knows he knows what's best, right? I got almost because I am what I learned the new term of. I am at my core a Scots-Irish, right? So at my core, I am like genetically predisposed to be suspicious of authority. But by all metrics, dude, look, I'm going to be very honest with you, man. In my lifetime, okay, the boss is the best president I have ever had. And I think about this the other day. I was like, realistically, we are so grateful, so lucky that he didn't win re-election in 2020. Pause, right? I know we had to suffer through Potato Head there for a little bit. But dude, very rarely do you have an individual who has a position and is by actual metrics wildly successful at that. The media narrative is completely cooked on the man, right? But on the inverse, then he has 4 whole years to think about everything he would do differently and then is doing it. You know what I'm saying, bro? Come on, dude. Come on. Let's can we get a like for the boss? American Patriots. Let's go. Brandon Herrera. I just wish here in Michigan we could get some just incredibly based representatives. But, we got dude, Michigan is a liberal shithole. We are effectively floated by the federal swamp state. So the majority of our politicians are, I realize that I'm sounding incredibly tinfoil hat over here, but when you look at people like Alyssa Slotkin, she is nothing more than a CIA asset placed within the deep state to manipulate the government outcomes based on what the agency wants. All I'm saying is look into her. If you look into Slutkin, you'll find out. Hey-hey-oh! A little bit of a CIA asset there. Coming off a 15-sack season in 2025. Don't mind me just mildly shifting gears here. Coming off a 15-sack season in 25, defensive end Danielle Hunter is being hugely rewarded by the Houston Texans. The 5-time Pro Bowler and Texans have agreed to... It is right and just. The 5-time Pro Bowler and Texans have agreed to terms on a 1-year, $40.1 million extensions. That includes, $30 million signing bonus. The NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo, Tom Pelissero reported on Thursday night. Why don't you just say everyone? Let's run down the smorgasbord of names. Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo, Tom Pelissero reported Thursday night. Get the fuck out of here. Just say reported. God damn. Hunter is now tied to Houston through the 2027 season. Since joining the Texans in 24, Hunter has proven his worthy to the tune of 27 sacks over 2 seasons, along with 32 TFLs and 45 QB hits. In turn, he's been rewarded with a 1-year extension worth $40 million. He's number 4 among pass rushers behind Mike Parsons, $46.6, Aiden Hutchinson's $45 million, and TJ Watt's $41 million. And just in front of reigning AP NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, who only is getting $40 million. Oh, I don't know how these guys manage to get by. Oh, it's got to be rough. 31 years old with 114.5 career sacks, with the majority of them in 87.5 coming during his 8 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings. A step hasn't been lost since he joined the Texans, though. Houston was number 1 in total defense in 25, with Hunter taking on one of the starring roles. Hunter has helped provide the Texans with one of the elite edge tandems in the NFL landscape, as he and Will Anderson Jr. have each had double-digit sacks in both their years together. Anderson is likely to follow with a contract extension of his own, as Rappaport reported on February 26 that Houston locking up the 2023 first-rounder was an offseason priority with work underway. Whether Anderson will follow Hunter on the pay scale remains to be seen, but one of the tone setters on the Texans' vaunted defense has been handsomely compensated. Yes, I would expect. Guys, so good on Danielle Hunter. He is one of the better players in the NFL. $40 million for 1 year. Whoo, you're good. Good thing. Good thing you got a lot of rookies. Let's just say that, huh? Let's just say that. Good thing you got a lot of rookies and a lot of picks to offset these cap hits. Because, so there you go. Look at the numbers. 46.6 for Micah Parsons, 45 for Hutch, 41 for TJ Watt, right? And now we're looking at a cool $40 million for Danielle Hunter. So if we look at these numbers, do you think, let's hop upon the grandma wagon. Hey, pay attention. Hang on, let's see if I can do this. Pay attention. All right. Do you think Will Anderson Jr. is worth more AAV, average annual value, that means the dollar amount versus the cap, than an Aiden Hutchinson? Something to chew on, chat. How do we feel about that? Ha-ha! That's fun. AI camera. Push back up against the clankers, then I use an AI camera. 48 days until the draft, Brandy. The older I get, the more I don't wish to wish time away. But oh man. Because the draft means vacation. The draft means vacation, and by the time the draft hits, guys, I will have taken another lap around the sun and been one step closer to that Hunter S. Thompson age of 60 years old. Become a pass rusher, you can pay for your college tuition. 100%, dude. What part of the mitten do you reside in, Hat? You can be general. Brent, I live, how's this, dude? I work in the capital city, dude. I live in the most, I am as mid-Michigan 517 as a 517 boy can get, dude. I am lived in the 517 my whole life, brother. You know what I mean? Going by the numbers, Hendrickson, $35 million annually doesn't sound as bad. Jack, yeah, it doesn't sound as bad, but I don't think I'm willing to bend over and grab my ankles and let Trey Hendrickson just have his way with my salary cap hole for $35 million a year if I'm Detroit. I can't spend more than $27 million on an edge player. Not with Hutch eating up 45. I have too many positions that I need to address that will require a little bit more spending. Cornerback being one of them. Figuring out what we're going to do in lieu of Brian Branch and while maintaining and managing Kirby Joseph's knee with a rotationary piece of a Thomas Harper. No guarantees that he's going to be healthy. Jack Campbell needs to be re-signed. Jameer Gibbs needs to be re-signed. Sam Laporta needs to be re-signed. Blah, 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 blah. There is absolutely no guarantees that Jared Goff or Amon-Ra will restructure their contracts. On top of that, there does need to be the discussion of Aleem McNeil's play. He did have a bit of a step back last year. Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. I know he was coming off the knee injury, but is there a guarantee that he will be back to form, or are we going to have to address the defensive tackle spot to accommodate and acclimate somebody else? Is Tyleek the heir apparent replacement for Aleem? Is Aleem some type of a trade bait? I have heard rumors that the Dancing Bear Aleem McNeil might be a little bit of a trade package incentive for the Detroit Lions. It's something. Yo, what's up, Refty over there on Rumble, dude? What's up, brother? Yo, hey, Rumble chat, guys. I am sorry. I don't know how yet to get the Rumble chat over on my laptop, so I have to watch it on a second screen. So I'm sorry, y'all, if I don't hit it, see it right away, my bad. But do me a favor, dude. Share this video around, brother. You know what I'm saying? That'd be absolutely dope. Time is flying. As I get older, it speeds up. Draft will be here soon. Yes, Mom, it will. And, it's the reality is it's not that time speeds up. It's that your perception of reality and how time is becomes greater, right? Like time seems longer when you're younger because your point of reference is a shorter amount of time. But as decades go by, once people really start to pass that 40-year mark, technically in today's modern age, you are past your half-life of life expectancy. So time does tend to speed up as you get closer to the perceived end of, you know what I'm saying? Your anchor point is greater than. You're starting to see, okay, well, by metric, 6 months doesn't weigh as much because 6 months has been multiplied 80 times by the time you're 40. You know what I'm saying? Like your anchor point on reality is significantly different because you are getting older. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really have to be with I'm older and time is speeding up. It's just that your perceived reality of time is anchored in a more foundationary set point. Does that make sense? Fuck me. That was a really random thought. Wait till you hit your 60s. Yeah, dude, that's what I hear you. I like one of those coin droppers. Closer to the hole it gets, the faster. Yes, dude. There you go, dude. The closer the turd gets to the bottom of the bowl, the faster it spins around. You know what I'm saying? And typically, the more you smear shit all over the place and make more of a mess. I'm just kidding. Hey, that was cool. My camera followed me. That was absolutely dope. But we need to go ahead and reset the camera. Guys, as we reset the camera, let's go ahead and get this freight train back on track. I'm in the empire business. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Tank Tard 20? What's up, dude? You think they'll bring Ragnow in as a coach? You think you could train someone like Ratledge to play as good as he did? I'd rather find a center, but plan center, I guess. Okay, Tank, yeah, so that's going to come up down to what does Frank want to do? Because your statement is very sound. Your hypothesis is very, very sound, dude. Because if we follow the development of Frank Ragnow, it is a one-for-one comparison outside of a first-round pick. Frank Ragnow, a first-round pick. He played guard his first year in the league before transitioning to center, and by all accounts, he will be at least in the Ring of Honor. Probably not enough accolades to be in the NFL Hall of Fame, though that caliber of player. It makes a tremendous amount of sense because by all metrics, those two players are very similar in their personality traits, right? Both good old boys, both outdoorsmen, both hunting guys, you know what I'm saying? So the communication and possible connection there would be a little bit deeper, so there could be a little bit more coachability, a little bit more connectability between the two. I would love to absolutely see that, but look, I don't know Frank Ragnow. I am not the little man inside the Frank Ragnow mech piloting the suit. I don't know what he wants. You know what I'm saying? If that's what he wants, then 100% you definitely pursue that, even if it's not to transition Ragnow or Ratledge to center, just simply because of the caliber of player. But you know what, dude? To kind of bookend what we were talking about just a few minutes ago, the older I get, the more I'm like, you know what, dude? I got my property. You know, if I'm Frank, I got my YouTube channel. I got property. I can do what I want. I'm not tethered to the grind of the NFL. I love where your headspace is at, dude. And I am actually in favor. I'm with you on this. It just is going to come down to what does Frank want, because that's what dictates that decision. You know what I'm saying? There you go, using big words, trying to sound intelligent. 100% American. I am faking it till I make it, dude. Shop his time, Grand Circus Park. Well, 8 mil. Brad Holmes shop this time. I don't know, man. I don't know, Williams. Or A Williams 17. I don't know, bro. Traditionally, Brad has not been overly that spendy. Yeah, the reality is, again, the focal point on our salary cap needs to be the restructuring of Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown. On top of that, they also then need to reset. Our priorities this offseason, over a defensive end in free agency, over a center in free agency, over a corner in free agency, the top priority is making sure that there is enough cap space to lock up Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. I hate to say this, but the business end of it, Brian Branch and Sam Laporta are secondary to those two players in their priority in what they represent and what they do for the Detroit Lions. Look at the accolades, look at the numbers, look at the metrics. Yes, Sam Laporta is a dominant tight end when available. I love Sam Laporta. Massive Sam Laporta fan. Have Sam Laporta gear that I wear, okay? He's based. All right. Sam, I met the Pope. Laporta, Let's go. Okay. But the reality of the business is availability is the best ability. And if you're not available 99% of the time, I can't pay you into the 1% of players. You are not the 1% of the priorities. Who is there every single week? Who is there 99% of the downs? Who are you building your game plan around on both sides of the ball? Jahmyr Gibbs and Action Jack Campbell. Priorities need to be allocating dollar dues to those guys, restructuring Goff, restructuring Amon-Ra, then signing free agents will be a third priority during the offseason. We have proven, albeit at times, cornerback, that Brad Holmes can excel in finding talent in the draft. And we do have, albeit a small amount, we have allocated and accrued more draft assets and ammunition to go ahead and shoot our shot to maybe climb up 7 spots in the draft. We might have enough bullets in our gun to shoot all the way up to 10. Okay. And get our dirty little dick beaters on a Sonny Styles, on a Mansour Delane, on a Keldrick Folk, right? We can address these positions throughout the draft. The draft class is loaded. With Taylor Decker returning, it gives us a little bit more flexibility and a little less urgency along the offensive line. We have made, albeit subtle, monumentally large steps forward if the gamble works off. If Seth McLaughlin works off, this center conversation, free agent centers, drafting a center, is a moot point. If Seth McLaughlin is the player he was prior to his ruptured Achilles in college, we do have our future at the center position. Tater Ratledge should excel. Penei Sewell is the best offensive lineman in all of football. I'll be damned of the Potty Award. Taylor Decker should do everything he can this offseason to make sure that his rehab, his offseason goes as smooth as it possibly can so that he can be at optimal performance, albeit in his 11th season in the NFL. That means that we need to focus solely on the left guard spot. If Christian Mahogany, and I know that we are just riding the grandma wagon all morning long, dude. If Christian Mahogany wasn't hurt last year, that rotating door at the left guard spot isn't a weak point, isn't as big of a gaping hole, and we could focus more on the development of Tater Ratledge, but we had too many rotating pieces along our interior offensive line. Okay? There was too many question marks. I don't want to say there's too much pressure on Tate Ratledge, but with the question marks around the center and the left guard spot because of the rotating door, Tate Ratledge, unfortunately, wasn't allowed to develop the way that he needed to. There was more pressure put on him to excel, to try and pick up the slack, to be a non-factor in the retardation of our offensive line that when you actually get into the metrics really wasn't that big of a step back. All right? So priorities. The switch over to ice fishing, is that better, Mo? You're a fisherman. Gotcha. Same as a Canadian Super Trooper stash. Hell yeah. You don't restructure Jared Goff. What's up, Motown? What's good, man? Hey, Motown, I was thinking about you the other day. Because I just, out of boredom, now this is a ways off, guys. This won't even become a realistic option that I start kicking around the rocks and flip-flops with until we get into training camp. But I was thinking about you, Motown, because I was kind of just looking at some hats. Because I know you want a hat. I know you want the hat, right? But I was thinking that I could do 2 hats, right? I could do 2 different hats because shout out Ryan Allen, right? Fucking friend of the show, dude. One of my best friends, yo. He had a great one, and I need to have, not only should we do the hat that says hat, but we could just have a hat that just says and beard, right? Like, how perfect is that, dude? So I was thinking about you, Motown. I was kind of kicking around looking at some apparel, some attire, some merch, but we're not even going to really get to that idea. You guys got to get me up over 1,000 subscribers. We need 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and we need a couple hundred over there on Rumble, dude. You know what I'm saying? We need more validation behind the numbers and the metrics before we start doing that type of nonsense. That'd be sweet. You like that? That'd make all your dreams come true. If I find the best ball. Hell yeah, no, for sure. In other words, BH shopping back on 8 Mile. You know what, though, dude? He might find... Oh, hey, shout out American Boxer, you guys. Go over to American Boxer's channel, guys. He's got a live show popping off later tonight, I believe. I actually have the notification. I have the notification turned on, so I am going to try and check it out tonight. Depends on how busy I am. But American Boxer is giving like a seminar or like a webinar type deal on like business development, economic development, self-development. Am I correct on that, American Boxer? I seen that, and I turned the notification bell on, dude. So I will be notified when you go live, dude. We don't comprehend how much of a catastrophe 25 was. Lost Laporta, Branch, Kirby. Now it's 26, and we're losing Monty, Onzo, and AQM. Resurrection. Good points. Good points. Though the players that you are comparing are wildly different in their importance and tier to the team. Laporta, Branch, and Kirby. I will continue to beat this drum that Kirby Joseph and the loss of Kirby Joseph was the single most important piece and detriment to the Detroit Lions in 2025, okay? Our offense looked worse than it was, statistically wasn't as good as it was. Our defense statistically wasn't as good as it was. Why? There is one metric because of that. Kirby Joseph, since coming into the league, has been has more interceptions than any player, more takeaways than any player in the NFL since he came into the NFL, right? Since he entered the league, he was on pace with Ed Reed, a Hall of Fame caliber, or a Hall of Fame player, and Kirby Joseph was on par with him as far as his takeaways. We were subtly fudging the numbers by having a ball-hawking safety. Yes, Brian Branch is a dominant player. He was having a regressed season before the injury, and that could be in lieu and in conjunction with Kirby Joseph also going down, more pressures put on Brian Branch. Brian Branch would be succeeding this year as we transition away, and this is where I say that the Alex Anzalone isn't as important. Of the three names you said that we lost this year, Monty is the most crucial piece. However, by the numbers, we weren't using him to his best ability. You know what I'm saying? We were fading out of Monty. So utilizing his ability to gain draft assets was wildly more impactful to the team moving forward than this 1 year was having him on roster, right? It was a mutually beneficial, possibly we could win out that trade if then when utilizing those draft assets to climb back up into the draft to get into the third round to ascend higher into the first round, right? AQM, although a double-digit sack and a complimentary piece, is an aged-out defensive end who should maximize the contract he had, or the season he had this year, to leverage getting a generational bag as he ultimately flames out of the NFL. Flex that on a team that needs a complimentary piece that will historically overpay. The Jets, the Browns, the Cardinals, teams like that. Go and get higher than your market value, but don't do that here to Detroit because Brad Holmes historically is not going to pay you what you are going to get in your market value, okay? It even can be something where you go the Dan Skipper route. You go into free agency, get signed, and then cut, and then end up back in Detroit. You know, there are options to go. The Alex Anzalone loss isn't as big as I think it needs to be viewed as, because I do think that the Detroit Lions need to transition out of our base defense. We have ran base defense statistically more than any other team in the NFL. We need to go back and move and look at what we can do to get a nickel player in there, a hybrid Sonny Styles linebacker, safety type deal, where you're going to go 2 linebackers, 4 down linemen, and more defensive backs. The NFL is a little bit faster, and we have proven that we have a front 4, even if it is a front 6, that can control the line of scrimmage. If you have a nickel back like a Brian Branch type, who is a very aggressive, physical type player who complements the defense, this is where I think he could have had a massive impact this year prior to the injury. When you bring him down out of the safety position and stuff him down in the box more at the line of scrimmage, where he has historically played in the slot a lot better than back at the safety spot, then you rotate Kirby Joseph and Thomas Harper around in the safety position, where Kirby Joseph is a ball-hawking safety with a Hall of Fame resume. Thomas Harper, who according to PFF last year graded out as the number 11th safety in all of football. Does any of that make sense? I got the CBs out to practice too. It was this game, so the offense was no longer doing best on best like we have seen. No shit. Yeah, Trippy. With all of the fucking logic and rational take. Bro, damn, Trippy. Trippy, brother. Hey, this is why your name is in blue. I just like being able to zoom around. Dude, that is a great take right there, dude. Yeah. Iron wasn't sharpening iron is the long and short of that, dude. Iron was no longer sharpening iron. Think about it. Think about this, Trippy. You guys remember how during training camp, think back to training camp, when we had to implement the Hutch rule because Aiden Hutchinson was dominating the offensive line so badly. We had to implement a Hutch rule. So psychologically, our offense wasn't doing its absolute best because we were going, okay, this player's so good, you have to continue to play through it. Our offense wasn't playing up to its caliber, and Hutch then psychologically was tapering off at the end of the play. Theoretically, this episode should just be called Grandma Wagon Friday, dude. Theoretically, dude, you what's going on with Rumble, dude? What the hell? Did my Rumble stream die? Oh, there. Yo, did I lose my Rumble stream? That's weird, dude. Yo, Rumble be putting ads in my streams, dude. I screenshot it and framed the day I turned blue. Well, hell yeah, dude, because you want to be blue? Because if you were green, you would die. If you were green, you would die. I'm blue. Oh, man, that's going to be stuck in my head all fucking day now. All right, sorry, I was trying to figure out what the hell's going on over here on Rumble, dude. It was acting a fool, dude. It was rumbling around, dude. But to the point, Grandma Wagon Friday. If we didn't implement the Hutch rule, Aiden Hutchinson could be looking at 17, 18, possibly 20 sacks because the psychological build of him tapering off in practice. And shout out, Dan Knekel, Coach Knekel. My JV football coach, Dan Knekel. There are some people in my life, very few educators who stick out in my mind. Two of them are football coaches. One of them is my welding instructor. But Coach Knekel, Dan Knekel, dude, you practice like you play. So practice has to be perfect. Like, fucking duh. So if Hutch is psychologically practicing taking off 7, 5, 10% every play because of the Hutch rule, and then he's going to psychologically be predisposed and pre-programmed to take off 4% on the games, dude. All I'm saying is you practice like you play, dude. You practice like you play. Why can't we shop at Grand Circus Park, not 8 Mile for a change? I suffocated to death, woke up 13 hours later. Damn, Brent, don't be doing that, dude. You got to, dude. The thing is don't use the David Carradine belts, dude. David Carradine branded belts. There we go. Got the big zoom. That was totally accidental. The David Carradine branded belts are way too sturdy, and they're definitely going to make you suffocate, dude. You need to use something that's going to break if you're going to be doing that weird stuff, bro. I'm just kidding. I realize that is a very obscure reference. Shout out if you get the David Carradine reference that I just dropped. Yo, can you slap like and share this around if y'all get the David Carradine? Show Sports dude, it's not Bloomberg. Oh shit, yeah, my bad, Resurrection. Did I get too in the weeds? Oh, well, so check this out, Resurrection. Partially, I do the zoom to make it seem like super important, but also like check this out. I have an AI. My camera's AI operated, so like I can come on. There we go. I can control the AI or the camera with my hands. You see what I'm saying? I can like do all this stuff and move it around. I can like, come on. Oh damn boys. Damn, dude, I ain't even doing nothing, bro. What the fuck, dude? I ain't even got the heater on up here. But you see, so when I be talking with my hands and shit a lot, it activates the AI focus, right? And starts to zoom around and shit. So that's why you'll see a lot of times over here on the side over, well, I guess you can't see it, but over there on the absolute sidebar, see here, you'll see it disappear. That's my camera control. And you'll see me pull that up and hit the preset because like it'll start jumping around like that. And then I'll go back to my preset and it'll zoom it back out to where I have it already programmed. But it's because I talk with my hands so much. You know what I'm saying? Hat and Pitts, dude. No shit, bro. No shit, dude. Like, and why is the right one so much fucking sweatier than the left one, bro? What the fuck? Is my coolant system not balanced, dude? Bro. Oh, not me. Gotcha. My bad, dude. I was all thinking you meant I was like an intellectual that could work for Bloomberg or something. But we all know that the mainstream media is a bunch of fucking idiots, dude. And I've constantly pointed that out in articles that I read. Yeah, I am. Oh, is that why, dude? Resurrection, is that? I wondered if that was. I am right-handed. Is that why? Is it because I've been using my right hand so much? I mean, look at that motherfucker, dude. I mean, that's just like normal, dude. Now imagine what it's like when I'm at work doing shit, bro. Like, imagine what it's like when I'm at work doing shit, dude. Just like, I tell people I'm a sweaty motherfucker, but I drink like, I don't know, I drink like a gallon and a half of water minimum a day. Just because I just sweat buckets. It's science. All right, so it's because, is it because I'm just like, now let me ask you this, dude. Is it because I'm using my right hand more? Or is it because my body is naturally acclimated to sending more energy and heat to my right side because I am right side dominant? Too much sauerkraut. Dude, Carrie, if only, dude. I don't eat sauerkraut. I can't stand sauerkraut, dude. I'm a terrible German. Activity-based, that makes sense. That makes sense. Is that why my right bicep is more toned than my left bicep, but my left bicep is like a cunt hair larger than my right bicep? Because it's like activity based. Maybe Hat and Skipper are related. Dude, Skipper be sweaty too. Bro, you guys have no idea. Okay. 2 years ago when Skip started at guard and he got a game ball and then the whole locker we won and the locker room's just chanting Skip, 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 Skip. And he was like practically in tears. But like he was just just dripping buckets of sweat. That is me on a normal day. The jack arm, yes, 100%. Gun guy, 100%. The reason I have an iron right wrist, 100%, dude. Yeah, dude, for sure. It's the old crank wagon, dude. Got to get the old Model T going. You know what I'm saying? Hand crank. The older you get, the harder it is to crank. You know what I'm saying? The more antique the model is, dude. You got to get one of those newfangled electric starters that these kids got now. We're fucked up today, boys. We are fucked up today, y'all. We got so off the fucking rails, boys. It is. Y'all, I didn't cover like damn near anything. Yo, what the fuck? I covered one article. One fucking article. Really, boys? One? We got 10 minutes. Let's just spitball around Chicago here, dude. All right, because he was the thumbnail. DJ Moore. Too much salt and sugar. Oh, I don't know how that's possible. Are you talking about in sauerkraut? Because, dude, I'm actually on a sugar, processed sugar and refined sugar. That was one of the things we gave up for Lent. So I am like all but on Sundays, we have like little to no refined sugar, and I do have. I do try and intake more salt, a little bit more salt, to naturally produce electrolytes because I do sweat so much, and I'm trying to not drink like sports drinks. When you look at the acid content of them, it's like drinking a fucking battery. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. A. Williams, bro. Dude, I had that same thought, dude. I seen Cam Jordan, and I was just like, fuck, don't do that Brad Holmes thing. We're going to go get another old, broken down, busted, locker room presence type dude. You know what I mean? Can't believe they got a second for the give upper. What are you talking about, dude? What you mean? Who got a second for what? Oh, for DJ Moore. Gotcha. Yeah, so, but real quick, gun guy, to your point, yes, DJ Moore is a give upper. I didn't watch him enough in Carolina to know if that's his MO, but dude, guys, let's look at the tea leaves, okay? Drew Dahlman, at the height of his career, retires from Chicago after spending 1 year there. Tremaine Edmonds, right? Let's check this out. Tremaine Edmonds, a perennial All-Pro, right? Releases him ahead of the 2026 season, and he's only 20 some years old. Yeah, it's $15 million in cap space, but that's totally palatable. He had 112 tackles in 13 games. Pro Bowl linebacker. He's not even that old. He's got 900 tackles on his resume, dude. He is released after requesting permission to seek a trade. DJ Moore, time after time after time, yes, it was giving up. Or was he just not liking Ben Johnson and Giggle Williams, dude? Bro, I think that there is something going on in Chicago. And I think what you're going to find is this is going to follow suit. Dude. Guys, March 6th, 2026. I'm telling it right now. This is what you come for. These hard-hitting hot takes, right? Giggle Williams and Ben Johnson, small PP, Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, the trader in the Windy City, will have the same career trajectory as Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. Bingo, bango, bongo. They are toxic, cancerous players and coaches. Look at the team and look at the leaders on the team. DJ Moore, Tremaine Edmonds, the center of your offensive line. After 1 year with small PP, Benedict Arnold, Osama Ben Johnson, skinny Matt Patricia, they're like, no. I don't like what the dude who paints his fingernails is doing behind closed doors with the coach. He giggles too much while they're over there. I don't like this. No. Something's going on in Chicago. Something's going on in Chicago, guys. And it's got to do with Ben Johnson, and it's got to do with Giggle Willie, dude. I'm telling you. Tremaine Edmonds isn't a guy you let walk. Tremaine Edmonds isn't a guy that you just let walk in free agency. You get a 6th round pick for, you get a ham sandwich. You get anything. You don't let him walk in free agency. DJ Moore, I will agree. God damn it, we did it again. I will agree. DJ Moore, right? I didn't think you'd get a 2nd round pick for him. 3rd round, maybe. I thought he'd be like a 4th and a 6th. But DJ Moore getting a 2nd round pick, and Buffalo now solidifies their wide receiver room. Josh Allen is a happy camp. Who's the happiest person on all of the East Coast this morning? Josh Allen. Josh Allen's doing backflips with a guy like DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a younger, faster, more physically talented, more gifted Stephon Diggs. And look how good Josh Allen was with peak Stephon Diggs. Buffalo, look, I'll be honest. I thought Brandon Soybean was maliciously trying to destroy that franchise. And I still think he is trying to do something, but maybe trying to cover his tracks a little bit. Because this is a smart acquisition. Bears fleece the Bills. You think, dude? You think? A 2nd rounder, maybe. I'll give you that. A 2nd rounder's a little nice. He would be nice next to Jet Campbell. You know, J-Rod, I thought that same thing too, bro. I was like, you know, even though we do need to get away from base defense, look, bringing in a high-caliber veteran player to utilize as your 3rd off-ball, your second off-ball linebacker, but 3rd linebacker to come in and play in the box, even though it's at a reduced rate than what we've been doing, is still at the usage he's already been at. With the accolades, with the resume that he brings, you instantly upgrade that position over Alex Anzalone. And that move, bringing in a divisional opponent's topper end talent, is exactly what Brad Holmes has historically done. Jamal Williams, David Montgomery. That is J-Rod, I had that same thought, brother. I had that same thought. I just don't want to get too high in the weeds on guys. I can only ride the grandma wagon so long every day. And right now, like as much, I guess here's the thing. Let me ask you this, chat. Would you rather have the Lions go and sign Tremaine Edmonds? Or would you rather have the Lions acquire either by him falling to 17 or the Lions trading up to, say, 10 to get Sonny Styles? Chat, sound off real quick before we get up out of here. Let me know, which would you rather them do? Go after a Tremaine Edmonds, sign Tremaine Edmonds, or would you rather somehow draft Sonny Styles? If you could pick between those two, I don't care about what is more viable. I don't care about what is a possibility. I just want to know what you would rather see, Sonny Styles or Tremaine Edmonds. Because either one of those options, I think, instantly makes our defense significantly better. Before last season, they were identical, basically. Hell yeah. F the Bears in Indiana. Hell yeah. GTSY here. What's GTSY? Restructuring Goff puts us in QB purgatory. It does, Williams, but unfortunately, it does when you look at it. But if you actually look at the way that we'll restructure it, we'll be kicking the can down. And again, the salary cap, check out Brett Coleman's video on it. The salary cap is only as real as you want to make it, dude. Both Styles brothers. All right, for sure. Styles, yep. I mean, guarantee Styles is there. It's Styles. Trippy, are you trying to make that a thing, dude? Or are you just fucking playing to me, dude? Because I can't. It's been over a week now, guys. It has been over a week. And I can't stop thinking about how great Sonny Styles would be for the Detroit Lions. I do not want Edmonds at all and would not trade all of our picks to get Sonny Styles. Not a priority. All right, Brent. That's fair, dude. That's fair. Edmonds. Okay. So we're it looks like we're a little split, dude. We're a little split. Okay. That's fair. And, the reality is that position is not a top priority for us. So that's kind of why we're just, kicking it around. Good to see you all. It's turn. Oh, GTS. Gotcha. Thanks, Trip. Yeah, dude. It's older gens use. Bro, I'm pretty much an older gen, dude. I am an elder millennial with a Gen X older brother and a boomer parents. And I think my grandparents were they weren't the silent generation. I think my grandparents knew the founding fathers. That being said, though, guys, before we get up out of here, if you want to have a little bit of an interesting thought to do this weekend, a little bit of research to do at home, look up the term and the reality behind what is called Scots Irish. Okay. And the reality here in the United States, and come to find out, I am totally one of these people where a lot of people in the United States claim Irish heritage, right? The reality is they're actually Scottish who were sent to act as human shields along the Scottish or in Ireland for the king. And over a couple hundred years, they got tired of that shit and ended up immigrating over to the United States. But in doing so, to distinguish themselves farther from the crown and not claim their Scottish heritage, because the Scots were loyal to the crown, especially during the Revolutionary War, they started identifying as Irish, and also they typically sailed out of Dublin. So a lot of times when you have your DNA tested, you find out that there's no Irish at all, but people still claim Irish heritage, and that's because ultimately, especially if you come from the Pennsylvania area, Appalachia, around those areas, you'll actually find that they're not Irish, they're actually Scottish, or in genealogical terms, what is typically referred to as Scots-Irish. I'm Scottish, Irish, and English on one side and German on the other. Hell yeah, Brent. Yeah, same, dude. I am like as white can be, dude. German, Irish, and German, English, and Scottish is what and it's like 33% of each. and literally the variable percentage, the highest percentage of variance is Portuguese. There's like just under 1% Portuguese randomly. And I also have a shitload of Neanderthal DNA. I'm a mutt. Hell yeah, dude. Me too. Thibodeau Is Styles comp? Get him for a 4th. Sign Edmonds, replace Barnes. Barnes should be depth. That's fair, dude. The problem is Barnes has a pretty heavy contract for being depth. Lions need defenders who create turnovers on the field via. There you go. There you go, Jack. We need takeaways. We need turnovers. We need takeaways. And if you look at it, though, our DBs, we're trying to punch the ball out. I think our team is one of the more aggressive teams. If you actually look at the play as it's unfolding, we do try and strip the ball and punch it out quite a bit. I see a lot more of us implementing what was once called the peanut punch, is used almost regularly on a play-by-play basis by our defensive backs and like our linebackers and shit. We do try and create turnovers, but without Kirby back there, it's just not as noticeable. Family came here in the 1500s, can't really claim anything but American at this point. Hell yeah, Trippy. So that's actually another thing that you can look at is if you can trace your family coming here to the States before the American Civil War, there is a greater than chance that your Irish heritage is actually Scottish. And there is that number shoots up by like almost 20% if you can trace your family coming here before the Revolutionary War. Again, the America's founding, the Revolutionary War was one of the big social separation, or I guess you could call diversion points of the claimant of Scottish heritage because of the social implication of Scots being loyal to the crown. The Irish were almost inherently rebellious to the crown. So a lot of times they just kind of phased out of the Scottish lineage and said, no, I'm Irish. And they could say, see, our family came over here from Dublin, even though in the 1300s, I want to say, forgive me if I'm wrong. Around the 1300s is when the Scots were put into Ireland to help control and act as a human shield, which led to 100 years of genetic disposition and being hesitant towards the crown because they ended up finding that they were lied to and manipulated against, which is where you have a little bit more of especially along the areas of Appalachia, because that's where a lot of Scots settled because they found it was easier. Not only did it remind them of their homelands, the mountainous regions, but they could still their own moonshine instead of hauling grain in. That's why if you listen to a lot of dialect in Appalachia, you will hear old-timey English words still thrown in, yonder, holler, that type of stuff. That's actually old English vernacular. Where was I going with this? And yes, so then once the Revolutionary War kicked off, a lot of the colonists that were Scots-Irish, especially Scots-Irish descendants from the war in in Ireland with Scottish forces being manipulated by the crown, they were a little bit more predisposed to being rebellious to the crown. You can then also take the agrarian cultures of early Scottish settlers in Scotland and then subsequently in the U.S., where you see a more of a, what is the word I'm looking for? Private property, independent rights. Socially, more people are less apt to go to authority and solve problems on their own, be it repairs or justice, that type of stuff. Does that make sense? Am I getting way too out into the weeds here, man? I didn't do a comp. Jeremiah did. Okay. Not worth our first and second round anymore. No shit. You guys are not high on Styles, huh? I'm puke Polish Ukrainian. Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up, bro. Dana Jeremiah compared Megatron to Arvil Reese due to testing, still different positions. Oh, you're talking just like in physical build. Gotcha. Styles is an off-ball linebacker, real back in a bit hat. Oh, for sure, Trippy. We're actually we're gonna be getting out of here, dude. It is we hit an hour. We did an hour, and the pit clock reads an hour. So now that we have gotten good and dehydrated today on this Friday, guys, we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you who bothered to tune in, like this video, shared it around, dropped a comment, subscribe to the channel. All of you here on YouTube, all of you guys over there on Rumble, absolutely crushing it. Bunch of fucking free speech patriots over there, dude. We absolutely love it. Eventually, I'll tell you what's going to happen, guys. is see American boxer. My great grandmother was Scott Irish. See, isn't that interesting when you look into the Scott Irish thing, dude? It's quite interesting. You can also then, if you guys want to go down that rabbit hole, you can look into how a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch aren't actually Dutch. They're actually Germanic. And the reason that the majority of them get labeled as Pennsylvania Dutch is when they settled over here and they came to Pennsylvania, people, where are you from? And they would say Deutschland. And instead of writing down that they're from Germany, the translators just wrote that they were Dutch. So a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch people and people who claim to be, the wooden shoes wearing, windmill spinning, fucking Dutch. No, dude, they're not. They're actually Heinz and Vines and Tines and they're actually German. Yeah, dude, Brent, follow me on Rumble, dude. We're over there on Rumble, dude, and honestly, guys, the way Rumble's been kind of going, dude, you guys want to know something crazy? I'm already making money on Rumble. I'm already making money on Rumble. I've made between the two live streams we've done yesterday and the day before, I made 4 cents. So I'm already making money on Rumble, dude. And what's going to end up happening is because Rumble is like so undeniably based in free speech, I'll probably eventually end up switching so that they're on screen here and YouTube's on screen over there, dude. Because, Rumble's fun, dude. Rumble's fun. She lived in Michigan. Nice, dude. They speak Pens, Dutch, German too. Quite an interesting group. See, Trippy, are we the same person, dude? Are our algorithms the same, bro? Are we watching all the same shit, dude? One's in our area pay my brother good money to haul their horses. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. Them Dutch, dude. Them Dutch farmers, they got money, dude. They got that old world money, dude. That old world money. They got that old world money. The gold that the small hats wear. Just kidding. All right, guys, we're going to get up on out of here. Have a outstanding weekend. Just remember that Monday kicks off the tampering period of the NFL, so we can start to smell the smoke and see if there's any fire behind that smoke and read the tea leaves while we speculate leading up to Wednesday. Wednesday to Friday, we'll really kind of be able to settle a foundation. Monday will, of course, be another mock draft Monday. Make sure you guys are locked and loaded for that. We're going to get high on some players, maybe totally shift directions with the Lions. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay out of trouble. Don't forget to like the video on your way out the door. Share it around with everybody you know. Subscribe to the channel. Turn that notification bell on so you can be notified when we go live every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here at youtube.com, rumble.com, and Kick. Look at us. Look at us, huh? Expanding the Hat and Beard brand. Mad Hatter Nation. Have an outstanding weekend. We'll catch you on Monday. Until then, I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Bonga bonga.